When I first quit nicotine, THC, energy drinks, and adult media content, I had a specific set of expectations when it came to quitting. And I had watched a bunch of YouTube videos on NoFap, on quitting smoking weed, on quitting vaping, and most of these videos portrayed it as my life was going to get dramatically better relatively quickly. And these expectations wound up doing more harm than good when I look back on my journey of recovery and sobriety from these substances. So in today's video, I want to take a moment and set forth proper expectations for those of you guys who are struggling with substance abuse. If you're new to the channel, my name's Dr. Frank. I'm the founder of AddictionMindset Recovery Coaching, which are programs dedicated to helping people quit nicotine, THC, energy drinks, and adult media content, substances that I once struggled with. For more free and paid resources regarding our programs, including our group coaching, check out the pinned comment in the video description at the end of today's video. So I watched a lot of videos on YouTube, and they were kind of like these monk mode type videos. And what I mean by that, the idea was that you were going to do this pretty extreme dopamine fast, and it was going to be this extremely rewarding, life-changing process, okay? And this is the idea of eliminating social media, eliminating nicotine, eliminating porn, eliminating weed, just anything that releases a bunch of dopamine. You're going to eliminate it, and then somehow your life is going to improve. And I would watch these videos, and a lot of people making them within a really short amount of time, like a matter of a few days, would say, oh, it was hard at first, but now I'm making more money and I got the relationship, and look at this, I'm in the gym 6 days a week, and look how great my life has become, how rapidly it's become good by doing this. And the reality is, when you quit a substance, for most people, they're not going to dramatically improve within the first few days. And in many cases, not even within the first month, 2-3 months, they're not going to start to see improvements. So what would happen is I would quit smoking weed, I would quit using nicotine, quit porn, and I would feel terrible. Mentally, I would become extremely depressed, suffering from pretty extreme cases of anhedonia, where I would find no joy in anything I was doing. Physically, I would experience physical discomfort, physical muscle aches, physical joint pains, right? And I just felt all around like blah, like the life had been sucked out of me. And I think in so many of these videos, people fail to talk about the fact that whether you're quitting weed or you're quitting nicotine or you're quitting porn, if you're quitting all those things at once and you're doing the monk mode approach, your body is going to go through a period of withdrawal. Your body is going to go through a period of detox. Two processes that are very, very stressful on the body. On top of that, the little dopamine that you were getting from the drugs that you were using, you're no longer going to be getting that anymore. So when you have an addiction, you're already in a state of dopamine deficit. Well, that's actually temporarily going to get worse for the first few days and arguably up to the first month of quitting drugs. And that can result in some pretty serious anxiety and some pretty serious depression and some pretty serious mental health consequences. Now, the good news is I promise it does eventually get better. But what would happen is I would quit, and then I would say to myself, wow, I'm not in the gym 5 days a week like I wanted to be. I'm not feeling better. In fact, physically and mentally, I think I might be feeling worse than I was when I was using substances. I would then determine that what they did doesn't apply to me, that I'm not going to feel better, and I would relapse. I would go back to continued use of nicotine, THC, energy drinks, and adult media content. No one explained to me that things were going to get worse before they got better. No one set forth proper expectations when it came to my quitting journey. And if you've been following my channel, I've been referencing the book by Dr. Anna Lemke, Dopamine Nation, because I think she does an unbelievable job setting forth these expectations. I put a link to the book in the video description when it comes to quitting a substance. Now, granted, I did eventually quit these things. I did learn that the withdrawals and the detox and the anhedonia and the pause, the post-acute withdrawal symptoms were all part of the recovery process. But because I knew what to expect, because I knew that not everyone is going to feel good right away and that for some people it might take a long time, that gave me a sliver of hope. That gave me something to hold on to. That gave me something to look forward to. And if I didn't receive those proper expectations, I don't know that I ever would have successfully quit. And I didn't have that book at the time I quit, Dopamine Nation by Dr. Anna Lemke. I had to kind of piece that together on my own through various videos and talking to other people. And it took a lot of work and a lot of convincing for me to get to that point. Now, the good news is, most people are eventually going to start to feel better. When you limit those things, social media, caffeine, nicotine, porn, weed, when you limit and eliminate some of those things, eventually those dopamine levels in your brain are going to start to rebalance. And hopefully you're doing other stuff. You're exercising, you're participating in talk therapy, maybe you're meditating, maybe you're journaling, maybe you're taking cold showers, maybe you're going in and out of a sauna, you're getting outside. Hopefully you're doing other things that are good that produce dopamine. You're partaking in hobbies. Over time, things are going to balance out again and life is going to be better. But life is not going to be perfect. And I've talked about this a lot recently on my channel. For the last 2 weeks, I've gone through a bout of depression, anxiety, pretty extreme procrastination when it comes to my work and my businesses, which has just been a downward spiral. And I talked about it in reference not to addiction, not to recovery, not to sobriety. Just this is what life is. Life has highs, life has lows. There's going to be good days and there's going to be bad days. And throughout my sobriety and recovery process, I've chosen to embrace all of those emotions, the good emotions and the bad emotions. Because at one point, I determined when I was suffering with active addiction that being emotionless was no longer serving me. So if I'm going to take the good, I have to take the bad that comes along with it. And that is addiction recovery at its finest. There are going to be points in life where you get depressed, where you get anxious, where you procrastinate, where you're not living up to your own expectations. That's going to happen, and that's okay as long as you turn to healthy tools and healthy ways to help yourself snap out of it. Whatever those tools are, whatever they look like for you, as long as they're healthy and productive, it's okay. And you're going to have days that are better. You're going to have happy days. You're going to have fun days. You're going to have days filled with joy, but you're going to have both. And the goal of addiction recovery is to embrace both things. We're not trying to create a life that's pain-free, depression-free, and anxiety-free, because I'm 5 years into this, 5 years plus now, and I've determined that that's probably not going to exist anytime soon, right? As long as I have people that I love in my life, one day those people are going to not be here. And that's going to be hard. There's no way around it. There's no way around that. But this is life. And addiction recovery is all about embracing life, not running from life. So proper expectations when it comes to quitting is things may get worse. They might get significantly worse before they get better. And that's where I think, working with someone one-on-one like we offer here at AddictionMindset Recovery Coaching, working within a group like we offer here in our programs, or a 12-step group, or a therapist that you have, working with people through the hard times is good because it helps you get through those hard times. Having a community, having support, having tools, having a system in place. And then, of course, embracing the good times. Well, that's okay. That's easier to do. Don't expect to go monk mode and to come out of it feeling like $1 billion, because it's probably not going to work that way. Things are going to get hard before they get better. But I promise, looking back now, 5.5 years later, even when things are bad, I can say with confidence, they're still better than they were 5 years ago. when I was stuck in active addiction to nicotine, THC, energy drinks, and adult media content. I hope this video resonates with you guys. I hope it sets forth some proper expectations. And if you want to learn more, be sure to check out the pinned comment, the video description, or follow me right into the next video where I talk about how to rebalance dopamine levels based off of Dr. Anna Lemke's work in her book, Dopamine Nation. I'll see you guys in one of those 3 spots.